Well, hello there.
Oh, hold on, I'm playing Pong.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. What's going on with you? Why do you look so fancy today?
well, I'll let you know, Graham. Well, I'm interviewing.
Are you interviewing?
No, I'm not interviewing.
Oh my god.
I mean, I think if I showed up
Because
to an
that is the ultimate interview outfit. I mean, I would
showed
hand
up
you
to an
down.
interview with a top hat, and frankly, I'm not sure if the fancy vest really does enough.
I think that the
for the-
fancy vest combined with the Yoda
yeah,
shirt really says
really
this is
makes
a
it
man.
pop.
This is a man. This is a man who's fancy.
Or I don't like
that's what it says to me.
with all the baby Yodas like to the left and the right of me. I think I'm starting to look like maybe a
A connoisseur,
baby Yoda.
if you will.
Well, maybe a connoisseur, or maybe like the
A Yoda sommelier. Or maybe just
I like the sound of that.
Maybe
I
just
like
a
the sound
crazy
of that.
man baby. It could be that too.
It could be that. Yeah, it could.
It could be.
This wool vest is incredibly hot, and it is September 3rd, right? So here's what I'm really doing. I'm
What are you
getting
really
ready.
doing?
Getting ready to hit the town tonight.
Oh, that's so exciting! Happy birthday, buddy!
So
My
I
God,
am turning the
41
ripe old
years
age of 47, which
Wow.
47, if you don't know, is the magical number of the Illuminati, right? Like it's hidden. In
Oh,
all the
that's
films.
that's science. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like you see it in all of the J.J.
Yep.
Abrams films,
Yep.
in the spy thriller Alias.
Ryan, hold on a minute. Hold on,
Yeah.
we've got a call coming in. Oh my God, it's Superfan Gary, buddy. We have not heard from you in so long. Ryan, okay, I'll tell him. Ryan, Gary's got a message for you. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay, Gary, go ahead.
put him on.
It's a message in several parts. Okay, go ahead. Happy birthday to you.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. Happy birthday, dear Ryan.
Oh.
Okay, so, and then, yep. Okay. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, that's so nice, Gary. It's been a while since we've heard from Gary. Like
Gary, thanks for.
I really appreciate the sentiment, Gary.
I think the nice thing to know is that not only is he caring, but he still watches the show. Gary, I'm going to hang up on you now because I mean, like, you're done. That was really nice of Gary.
Thank you so
what?
much, Gary.
That's just special.
Hey, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
I tip my hat to you.
That's for you, Big G. Wow.
All right.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
We're all
that.
so proud of you over at Weeksend.
Another milestone, which I'm not sure how I feel about, is my older son turned 21 this week. And I guess it's one of those. I don't know how to feel, so I'm just going to say hashtag hilarity ensues, and
wow,
we'll see what happens, right?
That's funny,
I do know
I was
that
helping my son fill out college applications this week, and I was just kind of like, wow, I'm really getting old.
Well, there's that, and then get ready for essay time. It's fun. We just went through that too. So
I did a whole structure for the essay.
So my son, of course, he moved to college a couple of weeks ago. He forgot a bunch of stuff because he doesn't listen.
Of course. No, of course. Why would he listen?
This is all about self-responsibility. But he said, now that he's 21, we're bringing down some other items, some other knickknacks, some odds and ends for the kitchen. He's got his apartment. He'd like to know if he can borrow some shot glasses. How do you feel about that, Graham? Or is
oh my God, man. I'm not ready for those discussions.
I have, just like with the nerd layer, I have an extensive collection. My wife and I, it's corny. We collect, instead of magnets or keychains, we collect shot glasses from everywhere we travel. So I have quite the collection.
It's funny. I only have one that I've really collected that I bought in Moscow when I was there, but I accidentally put it in the dishwasher once, and it faded all the stuff off it. So one of my missions in life is to go back to Moscow and buy another shot glass, which sounds weird, but if my son asked me for shot glasses, I probably would say sure, but I have to be in the room when they're being used and I'm pouring the drinks.
Right. You still want some supervision?
I do still want some supervision.
All right.
Oh, hey, who's that?
There's this video I found on
Big Red
the
on Thunder Snow
interwebs.
Yes.
And I just tell us what's going on here.
Well, so this is another clip from one of the Black Cherry Garage videos. We actually have another video coming out later today, as early as today, which I'm pretty excited to say. Yep, it's in the final stages of editing. So this is me on my Can-Am Outlander 450, also known as Thunder Snow. My nickname in in in, in Black Cherry Garage is
Thunder,
Big Red.
snow.
It's just ludicrous, but
Yeah,
we have fun. There's actually 4 of us. There's
it
Crew
is really
Chief,
nice.
Daredevil, Hot Shot, and Big Red, and we're just a
You know
bunch
what?
of
I feel like what you're doing
nerds.
here is amazing. All the work that you're doing with this. I know it's a adventureman bonding experience, right?
It is. It's 2 dads and their kids. I mean, we're having a blast.
But also, there's a part of your brain that's
That's
trying to
down to the bottom.
fulfill some of the in-game photography that you do on Monday nights with your other crew. I think. Don't lie.
So that is very true. I have multiple crews, and I have a video game crew. I have a U crew, and I have an ATV crew. Anyway, that was us driving through the Nashua River here in Leominster, Massachusetts. One of my favorite pastimes is taking that thing as deep as it'll go because it's kind of like driving a little boat. And so that was a ton of fun. So stay tuned. Follow me at Graeme Knows, and you'll see another Black Cherry Garage video at some point today.
At Graeme Knows. All right,
Black Cherry Garage.
let's talk about something close
What
to
the
our hearts
hell
here.
is that?
This is what is commonly referred to in the business as a mech.
Oh.
However, I think this
It
is Overwatch. But and Overwatch is not a game I play. I'm not sure about you,
No.
but
No, it's not.
this is an article which I thought was really interesting from Wired magazine. It's okay. They're letting us know it's okay to play one game forever, and I mean we've looked at like the plethora, the library of games I have. I'm a PlayStation guy.
Oh yeah.
I think there's an interesting question for you and I to dive into here. What is the one game you could play forever? Have you given this any thought? I know I only gave you like 5 minutes notice about this article, but
I have, but you know me, I have to overcomplicate it. So I guess if it was, it depends on how you want to break this down, right? So if it was like just a video game like Overwatch or something, now I would immediately say Destiny 2, right? Which I absolutely love Destiny. I loved the first one, loved the second one. So if I had to pick sort of like a modern now game to play, it would be Destiny 2. If I had to pick, say, a Game Boy game to play, well, I think I would probably go with Super Mario Land 2. But if it was a traditional arcade game, well, that would probably be that one right there, my Star Wars
just
arcade
you showing
cabinet.
off your collection again.
I know.
It's kind of like cheating, isn't it? I don't.
So
it
okay, so then my final
isn't,
answer is
it isn't
Destiny 2.
cheating. It's got to it's got to be a game
that
you've spent some time with, but maybe you haven't finished.
Or the
other point, the other point here is it's not about the destination; it's about the experience. And you can go through and play a game, 6 times and have a different storyline or a different character or a different whatever. So I've given this a little bit of thought.
Then it definitely would be Destiny. Go ahead. Let me hear. I want to hear your answer. Is it Tetris? It's Tetris, isn't it? It's Tetris. Wow, Tetris.
It's not Tetris. However, I love the Tomb Raider series. It was like my original sort of falling in love with console gaming, because that's when I made the leap from like PC.
Dude, totally. Yeah,
I did. I mean, I had
Tomb Raider 1 or Tomb Raider on PlayStation 1 blew my mind away. We just started replaying it recently on my PS1, and it's awesome. Still awesome.
Yeah. And the original games were just, they weren't about shooting and killing people. It was about solving puzzles. Yes, there's some gunplay. However, I mean,
it was all about solving puzzles.
Adding in the adventure element, and then how that morphs in other storylines.
But the exploration
exploration
of it too.
And I like just like with travel, where I like to immerse myself in local culture and sort of do what the natives do. I feel like when I do that on an alien world or a jungle or a whatever, like that's what I'm into. So that, to me, that's how I get lost in some of these games. And the same applies to like some of the new Star Wars games or some of the other games that have taken the Tomb Raider formula and kind of expanded it in different ways. So that's my answer.
Speaking of travel and doing what the natives do you remember that time we traveled to Orlando and ate sushi every night for like 2 weeks?
Oh my God. Well, speaking of other friend groups, so I think sushi is on the agenda for tonight, my friend. And I'm going to have to
what? Me too.
Me too.
I'm going to have the sushi.
eat a roll in my honor there.
Okay, so I have a request that if you're doing the sushi
right.
tonight, would you please reenact our unicorn photo? Do you remember the photo we took when we were in Las Vegas?
Yes,
So
I can try that. I
need to do
only
that
have
tonight.
I have a horse head mask, so I'll have to maybe do that, or I have like the
No. When
what's
we were
the
eating sushi, you just held the chopstick up to
oh
your
right,
head.
there you go. You know, some of that Vegas stuff is a little fuzzy for me now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the
I wonder
sushi.
why.
We're probably gonna do some other things, but we'll see. Um,
Nice. I'm
I
going to
wanted
do
to
it too.
talk about art for a second.
Ooh. Gogh.
So
Gogh.
so I learned something. You're actually onto something. So
Okay.
Vincent, we always say, I mean, I think Americans say Vincent van Gogh.
Yep.
He started out in Belgium, moved to France. So he referred to himself in all of his art, the way he signed his art, and the way he wanted to be referred to was just by his first name, Vincent.
Vincent.
Even though it seems like in history now we're always referring to him by his last name. It was because nobody could pronounce it right. So it's actually pronounced Vincent Hoch.
I don't think you got that right.
I don't think I got it right, but I'm reading like the word that they were trying to like show the enunciation.
My,
It's something
my
like
buddy,
that.
my buddy Rene, who lives in Bilthoven, actually in the Netherlands, he can pronounce it correctly. It's like Van Gogh.
The
But
Hoch, right.
here's the key point.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say.
And here's the other point:
It's really hard to say.
Americans suck. They can't do it. Anyway, so the exhibit there. So this is going around the country. I think it's an immersive experience, which means you go into this hall. In this case, it was in Charlotte. That's what I did to celebrate my wedding anniversary with my parents and my wife last weekend. We went to this exhibit where you're immersed in, like, imagine video walls on every surface, and then it's animated. There's music.
Yeah.
It's about 30 to 45 minutes long. It is
Well, his museum in
stellar.
Amsterdam is incredible. And let's not forget one of the best scenes ever produced in Doctor Who when they bring him back, they bring him forward.
Oh, right.
And he gets to go into the museum and see his own artwork. If you don't cry when watching that scene of Doctor Who, then you are an emotionally broken person. That's all I'd like to say.
You know, I like behind the scenes and factoids. The art was amazing. You can go there and be lost. We watched it like at least twice.
That's so cool.
Here's some factoids for you. Vincent painted somewhere in the neighborhood of 900 works between the years of like 1881 and 1890, before he started to really have trouble, and ultimately he ended his life, of course. 900 works in 9 years. Let's break that down, right? We've only seen a fraction of those.
But I've done 900 PowerPoints in probably 3 years. So how is that not more impressive?
You're right.
PowerPoints, Vincent's art, that's kind of the same thing.
We should take this a step further. I think we need to start thinking about how we're going to mint your PowerPoints as NFTs, and then you really need to monetize this effort, Graeme.
I'm in the money.
Yeah, baby.
I'm in the money. I don't know the rest of the words to that fun old song.
Just do the sushi. All right.
Let's talk about
I
feel like that needs to be a dance move. Like, what would the sushi dance move be?
The sushi.
Would it be like picking it up, eating it? Like, what would be the sushi? Or would it just be like you're like the floppy fish? Like, I don't know what it would. No,
there's a variety of choices. I mean,
right.
I love all the different names for different roles. I mean, you could have, the dragon rainbow. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. What's next?
I want to talk about. Well, you want to talk about one of your favorite
Rocketeer
stories, films is the Rocketeer, of course. And
absolutely.
Apparently, you're teasing me that they're bringing it back, which we've talked about a lot.
Yeah, so Disney Plus is looking at doing a series, and they're bringing it back, and it's being taken over by an African American actor, actually, and he sort of discovers the gear later and takes up the bronze helmet. So I'm really excited about this. Now, there's a lot of how do I put this lightly? I don't know how to say this. Just assholes who are saying that it's just woke Disney. Which is just stupid. So if you're so insecure that you can't handle a little bit of a change to a character, you probably should shut the fuck up. So the thing is like, I'm really, I'll take anything that has to do with the Rocketeer. We have the movie. They've done that, right? I mean, yeah, I could see how you could do a series with that.
Right.
Whatever, but this notion of someone discovering it later and sort of taking up the mantle, I'm really excited about it. So I'll take
I'm
anything
assuming
Rocketeer.
I don't know anything about
Anything.
this, but the original Rocketeer, I think he was the founder of Antifa, right? I mean,
Oh
he
yeah.
was fighting
Absolutely.
Nazis.
Oh, absolutely. He that's right.
Along
Oh
with the
yeah. No,
mob.
that's commonly known.
So
But the
there's a lot
mob
of
was
history
helping
there.
him. See, the
Yeah.
mom's Antifa too, dude. You think they're not?
That's
but
what
they
people don't seem to
are.
realize is
See,
that
we're all coordinated. That's the
there's a,
thing.
yeah,
That's the thing. That's the
cool.
thing.
Well, I'm looking forward to that too, just because I'm into
That went off the
jetpacks.
rails.
Jetpacks. I mean,
Jetpacks, baby.
I think as long as you're using a jetpack, you can't lose.
Did you see the video that was going around for a little while? Somebody used a realistic physics simulator to show like what would happen if you actually put a jetpack on and the thrust was coming out,
Right.
like here. And
Sure.
it basically just shows that all you would do is tumble over and over until you're dead because the physics
Sure.
of that, there's no way that it works, that it has to come out from the side and aim down. And so they were kind of showing like what would happen. I'm going too deep here.
Well, that's why I feel like when I watch the ones, like they've done this one now where it's like a water jetpack that it just kind of takes you up and then you plummet to your death.
Yeah, I would love to try that.
All right, let's talk about what if for a second. I think this is your challenge of the day, so tell us about it.
So this is my challenge of the day. So I've seen What If also on Disney Plus. We're doing a lot of Disney Plus today. So that check better be in the mail, Mr. Iger.
This is the way.
This is the way. And so somebody put up a challenge recently on Twitter, which was what if Star Trek? And my take was, well, what if Khan didn't recognize Chekhov when they were on SETI Alpha 5 because he wouldn't have known him. Chekhov was never in Space Seed, so Khan wouldn't have known it. So there's already a plot hole there anyway. But like, what would have happened? Would he still have just forced them to say why they were there? Would he still have just gone down the path of finding out where Kirk was? Like, would it really have made a difference? Maybe it wouldn't have. Maybe it would have. Maybe it wouldn't have. So what if Chekhov and Terrell got away and just left Khan there, but Khan was taken off the planet by somebody else? So I don't know. There's kind of a what if there. So I guess my challenge to you, Ryan, is what is so give me a Star Wars what if.
Star Wars what if. That's a good one.
What if Luke didn't get his hand cut off, therefore losing his lightsaber, therefore the lightsaber eventually being recovered? What if?
Well, it did get recovered. Who recovered it? Maybe that's the whole story. That's not a what if though. So here's what I'm going to go.
Right.
So somehow,
give me your what if.
Somehow, what's her name in the Force Awakens had his lightsaber. Scavengers, you can't trust them. Here's what I'm going to go with. I'm fascinated by the droids and the aliens, but obsessed with R2D2. What if? And I know we've had General Grievous, but that doesn't count. What if a robot? And here's a broader question: are the robots in Star Wars sentient, and could they become a Jedi and wield the Force? Force spot, 10,000, let's say.
Boy,
I think it has legs.
I don't know. I mean, when you think about, like, I watched Rogue One again recently, which is arguably the best of the entire Star Wars universe. Of films.
I'll allow
K2SO, huh?
I'll allow it.
Yeah, K2SO seemed like he had emotions. I mean, he said, Jinner, so you continuously surprise me, or whatever the line was. So they kind of make it seem like R2 and C3PO, they always made it seem like those two had emotions. Whether or not they were sentient, I don't know. But how do you define that?
This becomes the I guess the question of, is the AI just mimicking behaviors and routines and protocols and all the things that C3PO talks about, right?
Yeah, so what if there was a Force spot, and then what if they made a clone army of Force spots? Then,
whoa, now you're talking.
Now we've got What If.
Well, now so you've had the duality, the Duma. What was the whole? So the end of the whole Star Wars saga, which I hated, by the way, ended with supposedly there's going to be a balance, but it just ended up with one Jedi. How's that balance? So there's got to be a whole nother generation, right? At the end of the next to last film, you had the kid look over the horizon. Everybody's like, "Hey, where's the new generation going to come in?" It needs to be 4 spots.
Yeah.
I think we're onto something.
I think we're onto something here.
I
want my money.
I really was impressed. As despite all the sort of question marks around how General Grievous works, I do enjoy him having
sponsorships.
Spent 4 spinning lightsabers. I mean, you can it slices and it dices.
Yeah, he sliced and diced. It was a bit much, but that's cool. So tell me about the Mandalorian. What the hell's going on here?
There's rumors on the interwebs this week. And take it. I don't know. There's a lot of people don't take stock in stuff that gets, posted to comicbookcbr.com and that sort of thing. But that was one of the outlets that was talking about this, and it was light on the details. But it was essentially them picking up on someone talking about how they had insider knowledge that the Mandalorian, there's been these rumors that Mandalorian will end with season 3, and for a variety of reasons. Some of those are perfectly logical, but they're saying that it's going to keep going. Some of the same characters, but they're going to rename the show, and so that adds the question mark of what does that mean? Does that mean Din becomes the leader, and then in the lore, in the canon, his name would become the Mandalore, which is the name of being the king of Mandalore. So there's a lot of question marks. And then next season 3, spoiler alert, is that going to be him fighting Katie Sackhoff's character? Is that the big plot point? And then where does that go? I think it's all fascinating. I'm all excited to see it. I don't want to know. I think that is just interesting to talk about. But it makes me wonder, in the age of the Netflix model where most shows go for 2 seasons and they're done, how long does a Disney Plus series go when
Cobra Kai's just got approved for season 5?
However,
season 4 hasn't even come out yet.
I would argue that the folks that are running The Mandalorian, yes, it was an experiment, and yes, they're creating a whole new branch of the timeline for Star Wars and all that kind of stuff. But they the people involved, Filoni and just all of the top-notch people from the film series, they're not going to stay with that. They're going to they've, after season 3, just from a professional standpoint, they got other stuff to do, I think.
Indeed.
All right, so that's it. That's a spoiler alert for the week. We are down to the last story, which is I know you get really entertained when I show artifacts from my parents' attic.
Oh my God! Did you pull the greatest stuff out of that place?
You control
Star Wars archives.
So not only that, but it has templates for you to trace thought bubbles. So if you're gonna do your own comic strip,
create your own Force droid.
It has the properties of color as shown through the guards from Return of the Jedi. My favorite thing is, just because I'm fascinated with, I have to show you my lightsaber collection that I've custom built. Now I can draw them photorealistic.
We're all so proud of you.
I know, right?
You're such a big boy as you get older.
But I do like this kind of stuff because it looks kind of like a Clone Wars style a little bit.
Oh, that's very cool.
Anime style.
It kind of looks like he's holding his own dick.
Because I always made the mistake of trying to do photorealistic stuff when I was younger, but I never had any formal training. So
put that back up on the screen for a second.
All right, hang on.
I'm sorry. What does it look like he's holding there? Let's be honest.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
that does not look right.
We're going full screen here, folks.
I'm sorry. There's no way that looks right.
The full Vader. Well, this is a tracing. He is
definitely holding a full Vader.
All right, let me just clarify here. Okay.
He's still holding. Now he's holding an even fuller Vader. That's not helping. It's getting worse. And whoever drew that knew what they were doing.
Oh boy. Well, this is for ages 5 to 12. So
Okay,
yeah, this
so
is,
I take that.
you know,
back.
this is the kind
That's
of thing
creepy.
you like. You remember, this is the throwback moment, and this is our last challenge of the day since we have a couple of minutes left. I'm going to pose another challenge. We're full of challenges today, folks. You remember when you used to like fill out the you used to get like the 2-pager catalog for like the book fair,
Mm-hmm.
and you got all the thumbnails and the descriptions, and you didn't really get a lot to go on. They were just like teasing you about different books. Some of them are different formats. You check, go to the book fair, and then you'd order your books. How cool was that, right? Like, this is one of those things you would get that was not like a novel, and you like sneak it because your parents didn't know what you were ordering.
Yes.
So give me an example of something you would order from the book fair that was cool.
Choose Your Own Adventure.
Oh yes,
I love the Choose Your Own Adventure. I'm still trying to figure out who killed Harlow Thromby, but I Choose Your Own Adventure, and actually,
do you have one
right here? I do. No, I don't have a Choose Your Own Adventure, but I got this at a book fair, and I brought this to summer camp when I was a kid.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Well, was I a kid? What year was this?
We salute you, Mr. Scott.
I don't know what year this was.
Choose Your Own Adventure is a good one. I read all those.
Oh, 1987. So yes, I would have been 12 when I brought that to camp. So yep.
Right. Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, that was like one of my favorite times of the year, and I think, you know, it wasn't right when you went back to school, but it was in the fall.
It was the best, man. It was so fun. But I love Choose Your Own Adventures, and I love the book fairs. That comes up a lot for our generation. Book fairs. We talk about that.
I used to take those books and
you
then
kids these days, you have no idea.
Try to draw a map of like the environment of like trying to imagine that world that they were describing. Really cool stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it. That is our show for the week, folks.
All right.
So do the swoosh dance wherever you are. Do the swoosh dance with us, and you know, have a happy Friday, a good weekend, a good week's end, and yeah, we appreciate you.
Happy birthday, misery and despair.
Oh wait,
people
the stream
dying
is ending
everywhere. Happy birthday.
Is that like the Tim Burton edition of Happy Birthday?
It is.
All right. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next Friday. Stay safe. Be good.